Welcome to Business Startup for Boomers. This is the show that brings you inspiration and ideas to start your own boomer business. Here's your hosts, Larry Ahrens and Jeff Williams.
Yeah, we're an idea resource for you here on Business Startup for Boomers. I'm Larry Ahrens, and Jeff Williams is with us. Jeff is the chief coach at Biz Starters and their website, bizstarters.com. Jeff, you ready to tackle a topic today that I'm sure you get a question about all the time, maybe even every day. You ready for this?
Sure, go ahead and fire.
All right. See, we boomers have been around a while, and we were all taught in school, or we've heard along the way, that we need a big written-out business plan before we start our own business. What do you say on that?
Well, you certainly don't need the traditional version of it, which what I was taught back in MBA school in the early 70s, where 100, 125 pages with all kinds of financial projections for 15 years into the future. That certainly doesn't play that well anymore, and you don't really need to do that. So let me tell you of an abbreviated version, and this is what we help our clients do over the 14, 16 weeks they're working with us in Virtual Incubator. We do ask them to record part of it, and that's partly because you need to be able to remember it 6, 12 months later.
Oh, yeah, it kind of makes sense. You remember what you said about the business and the revenue projections and all of that? Yeah.
Yep, right, because you have these brilliant ideas come to you, and if you don't write them down, whether it be sticky note or something more formal, then chances are time will pass. You'll think, oh, my goodness, I can't remember what that was that I was thinking about. So there are basically three main parts you need to be put together here in writing. As I said, we help our clients do this. This is the primary focus of our Virtual Incubator coaches, is to help the clients do this, while our support team is doing things like designing the website and getting the logo. That's done by other people, but you, the client, need to concentrate on are this three part. The first part is what, to use some nomenclature that comes from Silicon Valley, this is what's called your business model description. And this essentially is made up of 3 or 4 parts. Number one, a short one-paragraph description of what are you going to sell in your business. For example, in your radio consulting company, you sell 4 or 5 pretty specific things.
Yeah.
So we need to have the person describe what are you going to sell. In my instance, we've always sold a complete process for startup. Number 2, who are you going to sell it to? Now, we don't expect you to be able to go into great detail right here at the front end because you haven't done extensive market research, but you should be able to say, I sell it to the government, or I sell it to companies, or I sell it to consumers.
Yeah. You should have an idea of that. Okay.
Number 3, how are you better than your competitors? Well, in order to answer that, you have to figure out who are your competitors. And today, because of the power of the internet, your competitor may be thousands of miles away. It just depends. If your thought process is that what I do sell, I will sell primarily through selling pitches on a website, then your competition is much broader than if you said, I'm going to open a brick and mortar store here in my town.
Oh.
So those are the 3 main parts. What are you selling? To whom do you sell it? Who are your competitors? And then the 4th part is the numbers. What type of revenue do you make from doing this? For example, when I started 25, 6 years ago, I started as a marketing consultant because that's something I knew really well. I had an MBA in marketing. And I kind of sat down and said, I need to delineate who I want to go after. So I set a target of I wanted at least $2,500 for each job.
Ah.
Now, it's kind of, you may say, well, that's arbitrary, but no, there was a reason for it. And this way, I knew that in a period of a year, I could sell a pretty good amount of total business if I looked for $2,500. So you need to be able to say in this business model, I think I can make this amount of money each time I sell what I'm selling.
All right, so I want to be clear on this. You think that people should focus on the price or what you want out of that of each transaction rather than the number of customers?
Well,
Is it
the
both?
customer number kind of falls out automatically. If you, simple math here. Let's say you say my goal is I want $40,000 from the business in my bank over a 12-month period. You then just do some simple division. If you say I think I can get $2,500 per job, just divide 2,500 into the 40,000. That's
Okay.
roughly how many clients you have to have.
Oh, okay. That makes sense
Pretty
when you do it that
straightforward.
way. Yeah, it really is. Okay.
And if you have the discipline to sit down every month and say, okay, how am I doing? Month one, am I making 1/12 of my goal? Month two, did I make 2/12? You have to have the discipline. But start off by saying, I think I need to sell 50 units of what I sell. I need to sell 100 units. That should be in the business model description, because that is how you describe what is called the scale of your marketing. It's how many people you have to attract in order to make what you want to make.
And I would think if you're at all serious about thinking about a business, you already kind of know in your mind or in your gut what you want to achieve revenue-wise out of this business. I would think that you're starting off from that point. And if you're not, maybe this is where your coaching comes into play.